Here are the most frequently asked interview questions for a QA engineer, covering the topics of TestNG, Cucumber, BDD, Maven, Jira, manual testing, and SQL. TestNG. 1. What is TestNG? TestNG is a testing framework in Java that supports annotations, parallel execution, and flexible test configuration. 2. How do you group tests in TestNG? Tests can be grouped using the @groups annotation and executed selectively via the testing.xml file. 3. What is @data provider in TestNG? @data provider is used to provide multiple sets of data to a test method, enabling data-driven testing. 4. How does TestNG handle test dependencies? TestNG handles dependencies using the depends on methods or depends on groups attributes in annotations. 5. What is a TestNG suite? A TestNG suite is a collection of tests defined in an XML file, allowing organized test execution. 6. How can you ignore a test in TestNG? A test can be ignored by setting enabled equals false in the @test annotation. 7. Explain the use of @before test and @after test. @before test runs before any test method in the suite, and @after test runs after all test methods in the suite. 8. How do you run tests in parallel in TestNG? Parallel execution can be achieved by setting the parallel attribute in the testing.xml file. 9. What is the use of the @factory annotation? @factory is used to execute a set of test methods with different instances of the test class. 10. How do you create custom TestNG listeners? Custom listeners are created by implementing the iTest listener or iSuite listener interfaces. Cucumber. 1. What is Cucumber? Cucumber is a BDD tool that allows writing tests in plain language, making them understandable by non-technical stakeholders. 2. Explain the use of feature files in Cucumber. Feature files contain scenarios written in Gherkin language, defining the expected behavior of the application. 3. What is a step definition in Cucumber? Step definitions connect Gherkin steps in a feature file to Java methods that execute the test code. 4. How do you organize Cucumber tests? Tests are organized by placing feature files in the features folder and step definitions in corresponding steps packages. 5. What is a scenario outline in Cucumber? Scenario outline allows running the same scenario with different sets of data by using placeholders. 6. Explain the use of tags in Cucumber. Tags are used to categorize and selectively run tests by tagging scenarios in feature files. 7. How do you run Cucumber tests with JUnit? Cucumber tests can be run with JUnit by creating a test runner class with @runWith annotation. 8. What is the purpose of the @given, @when, and @then annotations? These annotations map Gherkin steps to Java methods, representing the precondition, action, and expected result in a scenario. 9. How do you handle multiple data sets in Cucumber? Multiple data sets are handled using scenario outlines or @data table and step definitions. 10. What is the role of hooks in Cucumber? Hooks like @before and @after are used to run code before or after each scenario, such as setting up or tearing down test data. BDD. 1. What is BDD? BDD is a development approach that encourages collaboration between developers, testers, and business stakeholders using examples in plain language. 2. What are the advantages of BDD? BDD improves communication, ensures requirements are understood, and leads to better software design. 3. How is BDD different from TDD? BDD focuses on the behavior of the application from the user's perspective, while TDD focuses on testing code functionality. 4. What is a user story in BDD? A user story is a description of a feature from the end user's perspective, typically following the as a, I want, so that format. 5. How do you implement BDD in testing? BDD is implemented using tools like Cucumber, where scenarios are written in Gherkin language and automated with step definitions. 6. What is the purpose of Gherkin in BDD? Gherkin is a domain-specific language for writing user scenarios in BDD, making them readable and understandable by all stakeholders. 7. How does BDD enhance collaboration? BDD promotes collaboration by involving all stakeholders in writing and reviewing scenarios, ensuring everyone shares the same understanding. 8. Can BDD be used in Agile? Yes, BDD complements Agile by ensuring that user stories are well defined and meet the acceptance criteria. 9. What is a BDD scenario? A BDD scenario describes a specific behavior or functionality of the system, written in Gherkin language. 10. How do you measure the success of BDD? Success in BDD is measured by the clarity of communication, reduced rework, and the ability to meet user expectations. Maven. 1. What is Maven? Maven is a build automation tool used primarily for Java projects to manage dependencies, compile code, and run tests. 2. What is a POM file? The POM file is the heart of a Maven project, containing configuration details like dependencies and plugins. 3. How does Maven manage dependencies? Maven manages dependencies by downloading them from a central repository and including them in your project automatically. 4. What are Maven lifecycles? Maven lifecycles are stages in the build process, including default, clean, and site lifecycles, each with specific phases like compile, test, and package. 5. How do you run Maven goals? Maven goals are run using the command mvn, where could be compile, test, package, etc. 6. What are Maven plugins? Maven plugins extend the functionality of Maven by adding specific capabilities, such as compiling code or running tests. 7. How do you add a dependency in Maven? Dependencies are added in the POM file under the section with the appropriate group ID, artifact ID, and version. 8. What is the difference between compile and test scope in Maven? Compile scope includes dependencies in all phases, while test scope includes them only in test phases. 9. What is the use of the mvn clean command? Mvn clean removes the target directory, cleaning up the project's compiled files. 10. What is the mvn install command used for? Mvn install compiles, tests, and packages the project, then installs the package into the local repository. Jira. 1. What is Jira? Jira is a project management tool used for bug tracking, issue tracking, and managing Agile projects. 2. How do you create an issue in Jira? An issue is created by clicking Create and filling out the required details like summary, description, and assigning it to a user. 3. What are Jira workflows? Jira workflows define the sequence of steps an issue goes through from creation to completion, such as to do, in progress, and done. 4. How do you manage Agile projects in Jira? Agile projects are managed in Jira using Scrum or Kanban boards to track tasks and sprints. 5. What is an epic in Jira? An epic is a large user story that can be broken down into smaller tasks or stories. 6. How do you link issues in Jira? Issues are linked by using the link option within an issue to relate it to another issue. 7. What are Jira filters? Filters are saved searches in Jira that allow users to quickly find and organize issues based on specific criteria. 8. What is a Jira dashboard? A Jira dashboard is a customizable page that shows project data and progress using different tools and panels. Manual testing. 1. What is manual testing? Manual testing is the process of manually executing test cases without the use of automation tools to ensure software functionality. 2. What are the types of manual testing? Types include black box testing, white box testing, smoke testing, sanity testing, and regression testing. 3. What is a test case? A test case is a document outlining inputs, execution conditions, and expected results to validate a particular feature. 4. What is the difference between verification and validation? Verification ensures the product is built correctly, while validation ensures the correct product is built. 5. What is exploratory testing? Exploratory testing is an informal testing approach where testers explore the application without predefined test cases. 6. What is a test plan? A test plan is a document that outlines the scope, approach, resources, and schedule for testing activities. 7. What is the difference between smoke testing and sanity testing? Smoke testing checks basic functionality, while sanity testing verifies specific functionality after minor changes. 8. How do you prioritize test cases? Test cases are prioritized based on business impact, criticality, and frequency of use. 9. What is a defect life cycle? The defect life cycle is the journey of a defect from identification to closure, including stages like new, assigned, fixed, and closed. 10. What is regression testing? Regression testing ensures that new code changes haven't adversely affected existing functionality. SQL. 1. What is SQL? SQL is a standard language used to manage and manipulate relational databases. 2. What are the different types of SQL statements? The main types are DDL, DML, DCL, and TCL. 3. What is a primary key in SQL? A primary key is a unique identifier for each record in a database table, ensuring no duplicate values. 4. What is the difference between inner join and outer join? Inner join returns only the matching rows between tables, while outer join returns all rows from one table and matching rows from another. 5. How do you write a SQL query to find duplicate records? Use group by with the having count 1 clause to identify duplicate records. 6. What is a foreign key? A foreign key is a column or a group of columns in one table that references the primary key in another table. 7. Explain the use of the where clause in SQL. The where clause filters records that meet specific criteria in a SQL query. 8. What is the purpose of the order by clause? The order by clause sorts the result set of a query by one or more columns. 9. How do you update a record in SQL? Use the update statement with the set clause to modify existing records in a table. 10. What is a join in SQL? A join combines rows from two or more tables based on a related column between them.